A passive gerund is a gerund that uses the word being plus a past participle to create a passive sentence. The verb is active, but the gerund is passive. Passive gerunds use the past participle. Remember that to make the passive voice, we have to use the verb be or get. These two verbs are to be used for making the passive voice. It is possible to use get as a gerund, just like getting. Or it may be used as being. Being and getting, both of them, they can be used. It is possible to use both of them to convert active into passive. So it is possible to use the verb get as a gerund in this format, getting. And then after getting, we may write this past participle. So we can replace being by the verb getting to make passive voice, and this is going to be used as gerund. Passive gerunds are often used after words like, hate, enjoy, remember, appreciate, and so many others. So here comes the subject, and then these verbs followed by being or getting, and then there will be V3, or we may call it the past participle. I appreciate being invited to the party. We are actually using being over here. So this is the sentence using this structure. Subject, I is the subject over here. Then one of these verbs, that is appreciate over here. Then we have this being and then past participle. I appreciate being invited to the party. Or over here, he doesn't like being told to what to do. So this is the subject over here based on the structure that we have shared. Then this is the present form of does, and then the main verb is over here. So this is the verb, and this whole from here to here, this is a verb phrase, and it's a negative. This is the past participle for the verb tell. So being is here, and then this is the past participle of the verb tell. We know that tell, told, told. This is the past participle form. He doesn't like being told to what to do. We may skip this. We may write it, he doesn't like being told what to do. This is also correct. So this is the subject, and then this is the verb like out of this list, and then the structure being, and then the past participle told. Look at this example. They don't like being watched. So this is the subject, and then verb like is there, and this is the verb phrase don't like. It's negative. Then being and past participle. Do you remember being paid? So this is a question over here. A question is asked by using this passive gerunds. Do you remember? So this is the verb, and then being, and then past participle of pay. We know that is pay is a simple form, and paid is the past tense, and then paid is the past participle which is being used over here. Then being ignored doesn't feel good. So this is being is, or the passive gerund is being used in the beginning, right at the outset of the sentence. Being, and then this is the past participle, ignored doesn't feel good. So we may use passive gerunds right in the beginning of the sentence. He remembers being given the book. So over here this is the subject and then this is the verb. Then the structure of passive gerunds, that is being and then past participle given. He remembers being given the book. In this sentence, no one likes being cheated. So this is the subject, no one. Over here, this is the subject and then this is the verb likes. Then this is the passive gerund followed by past participle, being cheated. So as I said that we may use sometimes the verb being can be replaced with the verb getting. So this is also an alternative of the passive being, and getting can also be used sometimes in place of being. Do you remember getting paid? So over here this is the subject and then this verb remember is in present form, and then in place of being we are using getting and then the past participle. This is actually the passive gerund. My dog doesn't, this is negative. So over here this is the subject, my dog doesn't like, so this is the verb, and then getting washed, this is the passive gerund, and this is the past participle form of the verb. So as I said, it's possible to put the passive gerunds at the beginning of the sentence. Look at these examples. Being ignored doesn't feel good. So this passive gerund is being used right in the beginning or at the beginning of the sentence. Being watched makes him feel nervous. So this is another example. Being watched makes him feel nervous. So this is another example of passive gerunds. And the third one is getting. In place of being, we are using getting over here, which can be done. Getting paid on time is important or necessary. So instead of using the verb being, we can use getting over here. Getting paid on time, and then the past participle paid, getting paid, for the verb pay. Remember that passive gerunds are used to express a continuous action and after verbs that are usually followed by ing forms. Now let's have a short quiz. Fill in the blanks with a passive gerund. Let's test ourselves. I love dash, and then we have a clue, kiss. So this is a verb that is to be employed, that is to be used in order to make a passive gerund. I love, then we can use being, and then the past participle form of kiss is kissed. So I love being kissed. Number 2, blank space by everyone is a great feeling, and we have a verb that is love. So this is passive gerund right in the beginning. Being loved, being and then past participle, being loved by everyone is a great feeling. I appreciate, and then there is a blank space. We may employ the verb correct over here. We can use it. I appreciate being corrected. She doesn't care. This is a negative passive gerund sentence. She doesn't care about and then there is a blank space for this, and the verb is over here arrest. She doesn't care about being arrested. She doesn't care about being arrested for this. She may have a very sacred cause. I regret, and then there is a blank space, this opportunity, and the verb that is to be employed is give. So I regret, then this passive gerund being, and the past participle of give is given. So I regret being given this opportunity.